I'll check it.
The next day, after I have a prayer,
Give us a little spit.
Yeah, we're good.
All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before we begin, I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to
Our Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Kakadash.
double honors to the apostles and elders, accurate millstones, let us teach and rule well. All right, let us talk this truth, and peace and blessings be unto you for the offering. The brothers and also shall be sword of truth, faith, and the sincerity. All right, and we're going to get the first scripture. We're going to start off with Isaiah 58, verse 1. All right, that's essentially the premise, and as well as the to build off of that same scripture. All right, the preaching of our people, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right.
This is the book of Isaiah 58 and 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins.
Yeah, all right. So what? The house of the tabernacle is another synonym, all right, for our people. It's just that, the house of Jacob, or as the known world may known as the nation of Israel, man. All right, when you read the Bible, the Lord has spoken, all right, and has dealt with only one nation, and that same nation, all right, was founded upon many promises, all right, and also what special covenants, all right, that was spoken about again to that same nation, that nation being Israel, man. All right, and here it is. All right, not only are we preaching about what the transgressions and calling Jake out on those same transgressions. All right, but we also preach the terrible things the Lord has in store for this place. All right, this place called what's going to the scriptures. All right, this place is known as what? Babylon the Great, aka America. All right, and we can prove that what via the scriptures. But one thing, the Lord's going to make a video on it. One thing that we have to understand is that lately, all right, the enemy. All right, the so-called white man, known as Esau, Edom, biblically in the scriptures. All right, we understand one thing, that he is subtly, all right, being a subtle man that he is, there's still an ongoing war going on. Yes. All right, an ongoing war against what truth, and also pretty much a subtle onslaught of our people, man. Whether or not that's happening via hardcore bondage. All right. Hardcore bondage. All right, this thing being not an Islamic thing. Are the one being Israelites thing, man. Again, nevertheless, there's an attack. That's the word I'm looking for. There's an ongoing attack towards these people that you see on this sign, man. All right, and it's not happening, and you can't really just see it. All right, with your own naked eyes, man. All right, you have to essentially see it with the as the scripture talks about the eyesight. All right, so it has to be given unto you to see what's going on, and this thing, this attack, is going on via the belief of wickedness, all right? The belief of living a life that's a total lie, all right? So,
This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1. I will stand up on my watch and set me up on the tower and will watch to see what he will say unto me and what I shall answer when I am reproved. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1. I will stand up on my watch and set me up on the tower and will watch to see what he will say unto me and what I shall answer when I am reproved.
Right. And this indeed is what? A reproof. A reproof for what? The nation of Israel. All right? You got to remember, the reason why I said that the nation of Israel is currently being attacked, really as it has been for years, you have to understand one thing. The venom, all right, or the poison that's fed upon our people, not only is it an agenda, it's also a certain principle of belief that what Esau Edom has put up for our people to believe in, man. All right, and lately, that powerful demon, just for a prime example, is what the alphabet group. I'm not gonna say it, right? The Skittles coalition, all right. And pretty much, let's all make a video on it. Just recently, you had a Saudi Arabian woman by the name of Eden Knight. I'm sure you've heard about it. She was pretty much a so-called trans woman that essentially committed suicide. All right, you have people from her folks from Saudi Arabia, as well as here in America, pretty much forcing her, right? Putting pressure on her, right? Emotionally, mentally, pretty much detransition, you know? And that pretty much led up to her, you know, her committing suicide, man. And it's crazy because you have now Babylonian, prime example here in America, right? Pretty much up in arms with the whole thing, you know, calling Saudi Arabia these extremists, conservationists, I think that's the word, which pretty much, that means, you know, someone that harbors their old way traditions, all right? In a way, we believe in the same thing, but what more so via the scriptures. Everything that we believe is filtered through the Holy Bible, all right? And we indeed do believe in the old traditions, and we know for a fact, all right, the world ignorantly calls Jesus, once he comes back, he's going to bring those righteous and ancient traditions back, all right? But nevertheless, the reason why I mentioned that is because the fact that you have people going out and about, and the fact that there's an outcry for it, you know, with the fact that she was touched, or whatever that thing was, touched, and killed herself, it just shows you that these people's mind is far gone. They just go as far to defend something like this, man. You know, going as far as to blame both sides, America as well as Saudi Arabia, you know, for pushing her to that extent, not realizing they're really just saving her own life. Imagine if she went to Saudi Arabia, right, being as she is, and just walking out about. If you know anything about that country, you know for a fact.
This Ishmael.
So Ishmael, the brothers know, Ishmael don't play that. And their homeland, you go over there spewing whatever the line, whatever philosophy that America believes in over there, it's a done deal for you. There's videos all over the internet, people getting blasted, literally being put to death for pretty much practicing those Western philosophies, bringing that garbage over there to the east.
That's why they call America the Great Satan. It's precept. This is Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20. It says, "Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter." All right? And that's what this America does with its philosophy and doctrine. You know, that wine talk about, all right? And everybody's business is trying to get them to so-called adhere to American standards, which are pretty damn low, by the way. All right, and everybody's realizing it now. That's why they're trying to get away from it. All right, not only in, morality, but the money system too. All that's linked. They're trying to get away from America. All right, because it's wicked. Let me read 21. It says, "Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes." Is that not America? "And prudent in their own sight."
Prudent in their own sight, right? The word prudent just pretty much means not only knowledgeable and understanding, but what? Knowledgeable and understanding in the things to come. You know, you're prudent, you know? But nevertheless, what? They're prudent in their own eyes and prudent in their own ways. And that's what Esau pretty much teaches to the rest of the world. And like I mentioned before, this attack, again, is going towards what? The nation of Israel, man. Because you have to imagine, what if this person, either night, what if he or she was so-called black or so-called Hispanic? You know, would still be up in arms about it? No. It would be another number in the statistic part. Alright? Because what? An attack of hatred towards our people. Remember, this is the same nation of Esau, for what? Who's just an advocate for being anti-hatred. Yet they're the people, they're the top people pushing that vibration. You know?
Proverbs 29 and 18. When there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keepeth the law, happy is he.
Fine. That's right, man. Right? So without a vision, what the people perish. And this vision that's been given to our people, keyword is given, all right? Well, it's a vision of total destruction. That's why what? Hosea 4 and 6. All right? Our people, the only way that they know is destruction, man. All right? That way, that lifestyle that Esau feeds into our people. All right? And tells them to be proud about it. That can lead to your destruction. All right? What's worse is that these jakes out here, they have a vision, but it's a vision to no avail. You know? It's a vision of a utopian America. Which hearing that word in itself is make believe. All right? There's no such thing as a utopian America. If anything, this place is dystopia, meaning the literal opposite. You know, gray skies and gloom and doom. Yet, guess what? On the outward, everyone appears to be what, happy and content. You know, not realizing that everyone else is just miserable. You know.
Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
Yeah. That's why the nations are mad. All right, and guess what? It don't gotta be just Saudi Arabia. Well, other parts of Africa as well, Asia. You know, just throwing some countries out there. You have people still living in that in the what mindset of the East. It's really our mindset. You know, them in a certain way keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments to a certain extent. You know, the fact that they still would stand their ground and say, hell no, we don't agree with your damn philosophy. You know, we don't believe in what you believe. That garbage. You know, and you know, it's crazy. If I'm not mistaken, Saudi Arabia is one of the few countries left in the world where women can't drive. You know, it might be the only place where women can't drive, but nevertheless, just pushing into that point, what these same nations, they pretty much had enough, right, of this wine. Right, this wine of Esau, man. Because wine is pretty much synonymous with what? With philosophy. I'm not sure if it's still holding it. So if you can go back to Habakkuk, the chapter, it tells you that, man. All right. So woe unto that person that causes his neighbor to drink. All right. And in this case, all right, our neighbor, you know, if anything, physically, all right, close by and by. But what in reality, we're your enemy. All right. Talking to the Edomites of the world, man. All right. Because what? Essentially, that's what they've done. They caused their neighbor Israel to drink, you know, and here you have what the Heavenly Father looking upon us, what in disgust, man, in total disgust. All right.
This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2. And the Most High answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak.
Yeah, actually, I want to point out as well, like the brother got in Proverbs, all right, 29, right, how that vision, without that vision, it perished. If you look up that Hebrew word there for vision, if I'm not mistaken, the word there is gold. Right? If you look up in this same scripture, that word for vision, you're going to find that same exact Hebrew word. All right, so in reality, truly, only the men of the Lord, all right, the true believers of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, they actually have that vision. That wouldn't cause us to perish. Because our vision is what? Mashiach Yahweh Shai. The harbinger of righteousness. All right?
Verse 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry.
Yeah, it will not tarry. All right? Keep reading on down. It should say... it should be...
Oh, that's on 9. Well, after that, yeah. Okay, this is Habakkuk 2. Oh, it's a lot of meat in between. Verse 9, it says, woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. Let's see, 12, woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establisheth the city by iniquity. Yeah. Woe. I don't think it starts with woe. Verse 5, yea, also because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desires hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Drop down to 15. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth thy bottle to him, and maketh him drunken also.
Yeah, maketh him drunken also. That's the scripture I wanted, because pretty much that's what it is. And it says, what? Woe to him. You know, so what? Death and destruction be unto that same man that which first off, it's a deceivable act. You know? Because essentially what it is, you pretty much, it's a sabotage. That's the you're literally sabotaging our people. Because Esau knows what? When we're one without power, everything is A-okay. Everything is to the top of fruition and success. But what? Next thing you know, what? If you were to go off rails, start worshiping other gods, right? Start being, fairies and homosexuals. Next thing you know, what? We're gonna be pretty much abandoned or forsaken by our power, man. All right? Esau knows this. That's why he's so hell bent on having an agenda towards our people. He wants our people to literally get wrecked. All right? With these same agenda, with these same philosophies, man. All right? Because what? This is pretty much wisdom. But what? It's wisdom from Esau. What? Which makes it derivatively evil. All right? And the fact that our people believe in it, our people are proud about it. All right? It just makes them more and more even more dead. That's why what scriptures talk about what him that wandereth out of the way of understanding, shall remain in the congregation of the dead. You're dead.
Appreciate it. This is 2 Ezra chapter 1, verse 5. Go thy way and shew my people their sinful deeds and their children their wickedness, which they have done against me, that they may tell their children's children. Because the sins of their fathers are increased in them, for they have forgotten me and have offered unto strange gods. Am not I even he that brought them out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage? But they have provoked me unto wrath and despised my counsel. Verse 8, pull thou off them the hair of thy head and cast all evil upon them, for they have not been obedient unto my law, but it is a rebellious people. Going to show you this is why these things are happening. All right? As in it says in Jeremiah 2nd chapter, you committed 2 sins against me, One being what? You went to other systems. And that's what our people do. They go to these other philosophies, instead of the Most High who delivered them. All right? So we've got to pay a penalty for that. That's it.
Proverbs 21:16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead.
Right, yeah. So that same man is pretty much gonna remain a zombie. Alright, so brothers know, right? I'm pretty sure everybody knows this. The concept of a zombie is what? It's essentially a person that's literally dead, decaying flesh and whatnot. He can't even walk upright, yet he's still walking. So pretty much it's just an oxymoron. These people literally are walking, they're living, they're breathing, yet they don't have the breath of the Heavenly Father. Alright? And you see that. You ask our people who they are and they can't give you an answer. Alright, and instead they're at death. Alright? They're in apprenticeship with wickedness. Alright?
But they add, the scriptures a lot of times when our people are in the state that the brother's talking about, scriptures like to refer to them as dead, like the brother went into, or at the beach. Because there it is, for example, they're alive, but they're not functioning how they're supposed to function. Somebody that functions like that, either talking dead or beast. People into taking on the water that we saw into the lifestyle of being homosexual. That's a slight mistake right there. So those are the 2 states that our people are like, they're not functioning properly. Dead or beast.
Yeah.
Hey, that's why the scripture said, well, all of those that's going to worship the image of the beast put to death. Because they have a beast-like mindset.
It's funny, that's why I brought up the example of what happened earlier this month. So with that thing with suicide, you have to remember, because pretty much what happened was her parents from Saudi Arabia, she wanted to visit them. They hired like fixers, or in other words, mercenaries, pretty much like brides. They were threatening her. They knew everything about his friends, its friends, all right, and pretty much she just couldn't take the pressure no more. All right, and the fact that, and I guess with the world was greatly offended over the fact that they wanted it to be transitioned. But I never even heard of that in my life.
You mean be normal?
Goddamn, you go as far as to already change your gender, but the fact that you're gonna go as far as to take medication, which first off, your temple's already held the bar. You're going as far as to take these hormones, and now you're gonna refrain from taking it in an attempt to detransition. That's crazy. That's buffoonery. It was crazy because all in all, her parents in reality was just looking out for her. Because again, if she was to go into Saudi Arabia in that demonic state, it's not gonna end well for her. And an Americanized Ishmaelite. And look at that. She fed into that wine, and it's over. And with all, well, first and foremost, she's not an Israelite, so let's just get that out the way first. But I make that a prime example. Because what? First and foremost, that venomous poison is going to spread to our people.
Yeah. That's why it says in the law what you're supposed to do, nip it in the bud. You know? So that shit won't spread. Right? Put it to death. You hear something? I have it. I got to find it. Oh, go ahead.
First Corinthians 2 and 14. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High, for they are foolishness unto him, neither can he know them because they are spiritually discerned.
Yeah, right. So the reason why I brought this out was because essentially, whenever topics like this are brought up, especially towards our people, first and foremost, a man, especially an Edomite, or even the person Jake that believes in just carnality, right? That believes in the wine of Darwinism and evolution, Big Bang and whatnot. These people are pretty much going to have no qualms about our people pretty much dispersing themselves amongst this mass. They're not going to see anything wrong with it. You know, but let's bring out the example of putting 10 males and 10 females on the island. If they so happen to be homosexual, they're not going to have no life in the island. Right? Brothers brought that scenario up as an example. Well, guess what? You bring that up to someone like Carter, who just lives and breathes Carter mentality. He's just gonna take that and just null and void. You know? Because what? They're just totally sucked into what Esau believes. You know? Because these things, what the Bible teaches is that if you keep spreading that lifestyle of our people, it's not going to profit anybody. Alright? It's not going to profit anybody. First and foremost, it doesn't promote life. Alright? It doesn't promote life. And second of all, the Lord said not to do it. Alright? Anything the Lord said not to do, this place practices it. Alright?
Isaiah 5 and the 20 words. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
Yeah. So what? Pretty much a vice versa thing. And our people believe in that. Right? That's why they're so bold in making stupid ass movies like the movie I recently watched, the Da Vinci Code. I still can't get that. Can't get that off my mind. You know. But nevertheless, yeah, that's because what? One thing that Esau teaches also is the fact that there's nothing to fear. What's that one quote? I think I'm sure our president said it. The only thing to fear is what? Fear itself. Whether or not there's truth to that, the fact that that quote pretty much implies that there is no God, that's pretty much what Esau believes in. There is no God but myself. You know, I am He. I am the one that sits upon the clouds, and that's why he's so ballsy. That's the bully. Go as far as to bully the nation of Israel, man. Alright? Because you gotta remember, sure, Israel has mixed himself amongst his wickedness, but you have to remember one thing, Esau has forwarded that affliction. He forwarded that wine for people to get even more and more diminished, man. Alright? So what? He still has to take for this thing. Still.
Scripture said he's turning the things upside down, you know. This and that's why a lot of nations, you know, and it's going to culminate with what? Revelation 17 chapter. They are going to fire this place up. All right. So this is why we're out here encouraging or trying to encourage our people to get right with the Most High. You know, our people. I have to stress this. All right. And if you have questions, ask. That's the only way. That's the only way you're going to know anything. You know, we don't bite. That's it. Yeah, because the thing with Christianity, you know, it tries to teach you that, what it has for the longest time, you know, that this is for everybody, and it's not. This is Sirach chapter 24, verse 23. And now, let's see. Verse 22, he says, he that obeyeth me shall never be confounded, and they that work by me shall not do amiss. All right? All these things are the book of the covenant of the Most High God, even the law which Moses commanded for an heritage unto the congregations of Jacob. Who's the congregation of Jacob? These 12 tribes and the ones that are scattered abroad. All right? That's it. Exclusively the nation of Israel. Nobody else.
Continue on back to Isaiah 5:21. Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. Woe unto them that are mighty to drink wine, and men of strength to mingle strong drink, which justify the wicked for reward and take away the righteousness of the righteous from them.
Yeah, it's funny that pretty much reminds me of this past weekend, last Saturday during the Herald's camp. I'm sure brothers were there. But pretty much you had a man come up, right? Pretty much, believing in that Moors, the Moor philosophy that goes, Jakes, I think they hit something, this close yet, still far from the truth. But what you had the Ra'asha pretty much asking, okay, well, where do the Moors go back to? And this Jake pretty much responded with Moab. And the lands of it. That ain't the thing. That's why the Ra'ash came back with the follow-up question. So, are you a Moabite? And the Jake confessed. He said, yeah. I'm a Moabite. And now realizing what that even means. Not realizing where that comes from. You're pretty much saying, first and foremost, you're saying you're a heathen. So you don't go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And we knew who he was. We know he was most likely a Jew. But you're gonna go as far as to just pretend that you know. But that was the problem. A lot of Jakes like to pretty much neglect the fact that they don't know anything. Go as far as to defend their ignorance, sway words. All right. It's just a rabbit hole of I don't know this and I may be that. Not knowing. They don't even have the answers. All you have to do is just sway.
I heard that term a lot, Jake called himself an Asiatic black man. That's when that go back to that whole Moor philosophy stuff, them believing that they Moabite. Like the brother said, you don't want to be a Moabite.
Nope.
What can you get Deuteronomy 10, verse 1? Deuteronomy 23rd chapter explain to you why you don't want to be a Moabite. Yeah.
Deuteronomy 23:1. He that is wounded in the stone will have his private member cut off. Verse 2. Deuteronomy 23:2. A bastard should not enter the congregation of the Lord, even to his 10th generation shall he not enter into the congregation of the Lord. An Ammonite or Moabite should not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Even to their 10th generation, should they not enter into the congregation of the Lord forever.
See that? It said they shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord until their 10th generation. Then it further expounds to the point where it says forever. So you don't want to be up to see I remember years ago, it was assigned to the DC camp to explain why each nation is not granted salvation. That's actually one of the reasons why Ammon and Moab is not receiving salvation. Because when you look at how that nation even came about, it was all for ancestors. So they can't enter into the congregation of the Lord forever. Even
first and foremost, to even bring it up, since we're on the topic of it, the way that we know who we are, right? The so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Americans, is because what? It's the prophecy. It's crazy how it's heavy because we can grab prophecy proving who every other nation is, and also we can also prove the ending fate of that same nation, like Esau, right? Go ahead and read the book of Obadiah. You're gonna find out what the fate and ending result of that wicked nation, man. The border of wickedness, as the scriptures call it, man. All right. Just like the example that we've been bringing out. All right. The man of death, the man who literally breeds venomous wine, meaning what? Philosophy. Just one example. Which other nation has done that, man? a nation that pretty much had a foothold with every continent on planet Earth at one point. You know, prime example, the Britain Empire. You know, see. So what? The proof is in the pudding, as they say. All right, if you can prove that Moab, because it's not going to be the top dog nation of the world, you can definitely prove who the true Israelites are, and what's going to be the ending fate of them as well, man. All right?
Revelation 19 and 10.
Thank you.
And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shah. Worship the Most High. For the testimony of Yahweh Shah is the spirit of prophecy.
I remember at one point I heard the Rashid say, anytime a man doesn't get this word, anytime a man reads the Quran, like we brought out, a man needs to a man that can only read so much as the 88 books of the scriptures, alright? It just means that they ain't got Yahweh Shah with it. Alright, Yahweh Shah is well with that man. Alright? Then here we are. Alright, we can stand without great boldness, alright? And without confidence of what is in the same word, in the same book, we know who we are. And
I just say I have to have insurance, and they say if I don't have insurance, then they're gonna charge.
the same name that we covered. Alright? And so what? The worship of Yahweh Shah is the spirit of prophecy. That's why what? We have to know who exactly are, who are the 12 tribes. Alright? And especially in these times, what's the mark of the beast? Excuse me, the FOTB. You know? Nevertheless, yeah. And why is that? Because we are essentially the witnesses. Right? We are the witnesses of Hamas and Yahweh Shah. One of my favorite scriptures, because essentially what it is, what this thing about is not only is it faith-based, what I like about that word is that it pretty much means, it's also another word for testify. You know? So, and it's funny because in this day and age, when somebody thinks of the word witness, they think of pretty much the witness of a crime. You know, for example, a murder. Somebody's seen it happen. They can what? Testify. Oh, I was a witness. You know, remember the stand, I was a witness. Your Honor, I was there. I seen it happen. I seen the murder weapon, yada yada, so on and so forth. You know? I remember one in LA said that. Speak as a man. I haven't seen how shy this stuff, right? I haven't seen the Lord. Right? But what it was through these same words that we have a witness, meaning we can testify of his existence. Alright?
Second Ezra 1 and 37 verse. I took to witness the race of the people to come, whose little one rejoiced in gladness, and though they have not seen me with bodily eyes, yet in spirit they believe the thing that I say.
Yeah, so though we haven't seen the Lord with what? With bodily eyes, we gotta remember, Yahweh Shai, when did he roam the earth? What, damn near over 2,000 years ago. Alright? Were we there though? Well, if anything, look, you gotta think about it. Look, think about the men, the 12 disciples at the time. They can actually say that what we are a witness of Yahweh Shai. We've seen him, we've walked with him. Alright? They literally broke bread with him. Alright? And in other words, they were his companions. Because that's actually what the word companion means. Someone who you would break bread. Now in this day and age, who are we? Who are we? We're men that actually see Yahweh Shai, but what? It's only through the same scriptures because we have belief in that same thing. So what? Though we have not seen him with bodily eyes, we indeed have seen her. So therefore, what? Even in this day and age, we're still witnessing.
John 20:29, Yahweh Shah said unto him, Thomas, because thou hast seen me, thou hast believed. Blessed are they that have not seen, and yet have believed.
Yeah, I remember that account. Alright? Actually, as a matter of fact, Thomas, I think his name literally means like of two. Which pretty much is like a mirroring of that little account. Meaning what? The two minds. But you probably know the phrase doubting Thomas, that's where that comes from. At the time, for clarification's sake, he was doubting at the time. Alright? Because what? He needed to actually feel, he had to feel the markings that our Lord received from the crucifixion. Alright? And it's funny because even then, that same spirit is here. All right. People doubting Jacob's trouble. People doubting the MOTV and its actual existence. All right. People going as far as to not even believe in the New Testament. You know. And this is why a few camps ago I discussed that word canon. You know, the word canon and how people have their own truths. All right. Well, guess what? You saying this is what the way of Islam or Yahushua was just a man and that's it, or the MOTV is not what it is. All that buffoonery is non-canon. All right. It's incredible. You can't even prove it. All right. These things aren't what? These things aren't credible. You know. And so therefore, it's declared non-canon according to the Bible. You know.
Still got that X. What do you want to say? To whom also he shewed himself alive.
Isaiah 34:16. Seek ye out the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate. For my mouth hath commanded, and his spirit hath gathered them. Isaiah 34:16. Seek ye out the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate. For my mouth hath commanded, and his spirit hath gathered them.
Yeah. And commonly the scripture is brought out whenever someone mentions another work of a book. All right. I've heard of works of Enoch, right? The works of Mary Magdalene even, you know. But what these other works, whether or not brothers have read them or not, you brothers are got to. But nevertheless, these books, whenever the scriptures there mention the word mate, it pretty much means in union, you know. So you can't put the Egyptian Book of the Dead, the Quran, pretty much any other work under the sun with this book. You can't mix it together because what? Essentially, this word doesn't need its own freaking counterpart, its own companion of sorts. All right. There is pretty much the making of many books.
Oh, Ecclesiastes.
Yeah. So essentially, what? These are the books. So you're going as far as to grab other works the other men made. So it's just going to lead to more and more confusion, man. All right. What's even worse is the fact that people come up with that weak argument saying that, oh, that book was written by man. You know, that's man's book. How could that possibly be wholly inspired? Which, first off, that's a weak argument, man. Because literally everything under the sun was written by man. All right. The question is whether or not the writer or the scribes, all right, and the men who've seen these visions. The question matters, all right, whether or not who or what they were inspired by. That's what matters, man. Yep. And this book came of a holy inspiration. All right, meaning because pretty much the word inspired means just that, to put in. All right. So what has been put in these men in the that scriptures talk about? What has been put in the mind of Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Isaiah? All right, Yahushua. These men were inspired, or they were inspired by the Holy Spirit, man. All right. Now you gotta ask yourself, okay, so what about these other dudes? Look, the scriptures, even down to a kid's playbook, was inspired by man. Right? Yes. Going back to that, that's a weak argument. This is what? By a holy inspiration. You know? There's no comparison.
16:11.
Genesis 12 and 12. And further by these, my son, being admonished of making many books, there is no end, and much study is awareness of the flesh.
Yeah. And you see, this is what King David himself said, let this table be a snare unto these people, a trap. All right? You can read from Genesis to Revelation, but guess what? The Lord's going to put a certain spirit on you, all right, to pretty much be straight away. All right? Because what? It wasn't meant to you to receive this truth. It wasn't meant to you to receive this truth. That's the thing. These guys out here, whether or not they know the Israel or not, they don't carry the words of the Most High. They just don't. All right? They can come in with the same names, all right, that we may know, Then what does the scripture say? Right, not everyone that cometh unto me is saying, Lord, Lord, is going to enter into the kingdom of heaven, man. Because what? Their works ain't right. Their fruits are barren. All right? And the things that they preach aren't inspired by Yahweh, by Shem Yahushua. All right?
This is Psalms chapter 68, verse 11. The Lord gave the word. Great was the company of those that published it. I have here on the side it says, the company has army. You know, you had the prophets and you had the scribes, the majority of them. You know, that's an army in itself. And we're out here on the highways and byways spreading the word. This is Psalms chapter 68, verse 11. The Lord gave the word, great was the company of those that published it.
Great was the company, those that publish. The word publish just means just that, to make.
Done.
Small. Yeah, so the word publish pretty much just means someone that makes it known across the world, man. All right? So, that's what I came up.
This is Psalms. This is Psalms chapter 68, verse 11. The Most High gave the word, great was the company of those that published it.
Yeah. All right? So what? These men of old, they weren't just coming out their own mind. Right? You have to understand, these men actually received visions from the Heavenly Father, man, and actually put it on paper. All right? And these guys, I want to come up and refute that. Look, be as it may. All right? Remember, just thinking about it, even not to go off topic, even folk being his people, for our people, education is so cold. If I'm not mistaken, they're not even out teaching out here. All right? They're only out behind the computer screen, spewing madness, man. You know, I remember hearing that that even the Northern Kingdom can't be by the Christians just because of the fact that they actually have they have their own countries and that they don't fix on the dollar bills. Not realizing that literally Levi and Benjamin have their own countries with the fixes on the dollar bills. The reality is what? It just means that our people aren't in the best conditions, man. All right? So, you know what? The country's still free upon all the 12 tribes. Just putting it out there.
And it goes, you know, you have to consider also that what it looks like on the surface is not necessarily the case, especially when you get into the so-called Latin American countries. A lot of those heads of states down there and those upper echelon families, you know, they are European. They are Edomites.
Or tears.
Yeah. What do they call them?
Mestizos.
Mestizos. You know? So, like I said, well, look, you got to look beyond the surface. You know? That's it.
So Rock 39 and 24. As his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked. So Rock 39 and 24. As his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked.
Yeah. What? So are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked? All right? Matter of fact, and our elders even tell us, Blue Letter, which is a common app that brothers use across the world, even in itself, the app in itself goes off, you know, and people actually get stumped up, you know, the whole Gentiles thing, you know, people wondering if the Maxine was actually the MOTV. We had a camp, I'm not sure which camp, they had camp saying that, all right? Well, where are they now? What are they saying now about it? You know, so you can't keep learning out any goddamn thing while you're calling it truth, man. You see, but what these things are set up, for Republicans, right? They're going to shot you for these people. You know?
This is Acts chapter 1, verse 8. But ye shall receive power after that the Holy Spirit is come upon you. And ye shall be witnesses unto me, both in Jerusalem and in all Judea, and in Samaria, and unto the uttermost part of the earth.
Yeah, man. All right, the uttermost parts of the earth, and indeed and believe we are the witnesses of Yahweh Shai. All right, plainly put. Because you got to think about it. At that time, the uttermost parts of the earth, that was pretty much, you know, the four corners of the earth. So what? Not everybody actually knew or was a witness of Yahweh Shai. But guess what? Here we are preaching His name 2,000 years later. So this prophecy is completed and it's ongoing. All right. So what? We are the witnesses in the uttermost parts of the earth, still teaching the name of Yahweh Shai. Alright, so let's prophecy right now.
Which is a very low.
Yes. You know, and two, it's like the apostles have always said, you know, by way of technology, you know, it's not like in the old days where you had to get up and go personally, you know, like in the time, you know, the Apostle Paul and all the other prophets. Well, modern day, the internet does the heavy lifting. This is Romans chapter 10 and 18. It says, but I say, have they not heard? Yes, verily, their sound went into all the earth, and their words unto the ends of the earth. All right, we go along with Psalms 19 and 4. You know, it's talking about the airwaves, the internet, you know. It does the heavy lifting for us. That's how a lot of people came into this. They didn't have someone physically there. They just turned on to YouTube or some other form of social media, all right? Then they started studying as they listened, you know, got more and more into it and understand it. That's it.
Psalms 19 and 2. Day unto day utter speech, and night unto night show knowledge. There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. Their line is gone up through all of the earth, and their words to the end of the world. And them have he set a tabernacle for the sun.
Yeah, speaking upon what's that? The unicorn. All right, you gotta remember this thing. You have to go to these top eggheads. They can't even tell you how the internet actually works. It's just kind of it's there. That's how you know it really is a miracle of the Lord. Yet again, you have Esau taking taking credit over that. All right. And nevertheless, what? It's all connected. All right. Everything's connected. And guess what? It's all for the purpose of what? Preaching this word. All right. And again, you just gotta have the lifestyle. What's funny about YouTube, even YouTube itself, you know, the slogan broadcast, that literally means just that. We're broadcasting what is true. You know? It's funny because you go on a lot of these shit videos on YouTube. Oh, you got all that. Whether it be memes, right? You got people in the comments saying, oh yeah, this is what YouTube was made for.
Woo! That thing just under the tongue.
It could be a stupid video, and you got people saying, yeah, this is what YouTube was made for. Not realizing YouTube was literally made for just this, man. Alright? The inner workings of Yahweh Shalom Shah.
Someone said, you know, this is chess, not checkers. This is the Most High playing his chess game. All the pieces are in the positions that he wants them in. To Esau's dismay, of course.
Jeremiah 5:14. Wherefore thus saith the Lord, God of hosts, because ye speak this word, behold, I will make thy words in thy mouth fire, and his people wood, and it shall devour them.
Yeah, and it shall devour them, man. That's why Brother can get with Psalm 5. You know, he talks about that. Are we going to speak in great boldness towards them that afflicted us, man? Alright? You got to remember, it was at one point, even during the time of Abba Bivens, alright, he had this father business. Alright? I think in the age, that's the age, in the old ways, especially in New York, if people had something to say, especially local news, they would have to stand on a place called the soapbox. Right? The soapbox, and they would just, hey, they'll tell it how it is. You know, what's this, you know, what's happening? You know? It's so crazy because we're doing the same thing now. We're telling you what's happening, and it's been the same thing over and over and over again throughout history. Alright? If I can get that to Jeremiah 28, 28 chapter.
Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labor. When they see it, they should be troubled with terrible fear, and it should be amazed at the greatness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for.
Yeah, right? This is indeed a strange thing, but what? Towards our enemies. Right? But to us, well, it's a good thing. Alright? This is literally, we're literally preaching salvation, and yet, no, not a single soul out here that's actually going to hearken. Alright? That's actually going to hearken unto the words of the Heavenly Father, man. All right. Nevertheless, what? This is a great thing towards what? The men of the Lord, towards us. All right. Towards us, man. All right.
And the Wisdom of Solomon 5:3. And they repented and groaning for anguish of spirit should say within themselves, this was he whom we have sometimes in derision and in proverb of reproach. Be fools, counting his last days, and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of the Most High? And his lot is among the saints.
Yeah, so that's literally then what the reaction being in derision, seeing us. That's gonna be the reaction. You know? How is it that these guys on the streets, those loonies, how is it that they're right? You know? Or they're actually being saved.
Yes.
You know? That's a quote goes. Alright, but what in reality? Alright? All these people actually were mocking us as they walk by. Alright? Calling us names. But then now they say what they're about, they're saying what inwardly. Even though what? The Lord still mocking. Right, for that thing. But yet what? They're gonna be the ones in awe. You know, we're gonna be the ones mocking them. Alright, and what? Ultimately, the Heavenly Father is gonna have the last laugh. You know?
Yeah, that's something. Because when you brought up what's that? I put this is close. I put the fire. Said that fire goes in my mouth. Give me that again.
That word in that mouth is fire.
5:15.
Jeremiah 5:14. Wherefore thus saith the Lord, God of hosts, because ye speak this word, behold, I will make my words in thy mouth fire, and in stupid wood, the fire.
Great men, like they said, the wisdom of Solomon, we took chapter, they stood so broken, like so broken. But they wasn't going to stop doing what the Lord commanded them to do, which was what? Speak His word. And I like to pair up Jeremiah, what's that? The 5th chapter, what's that? 15? With this scripture right here, with Proverbs 30, and what's it called? Proverbs 30. Where is it at? Yep, Proverbs 30 and 16. So verse 15. And it says, the whore sleep had 2 daughters crying, give, give. There are 3 things that are never satisfied. They, 4 things say not. It is enough. The grave, the barren womb, the earth that is not filled with water, and the fire that said it is not enough. That's only a minute. Because it explains why, we go so hard for this truth.
How we doing, guys?
It's not for you.
Who you guys were talking about?
Explain what read that again, Jeremiah 5:15.
We were talking about the Bible
Jeremiah 5:14.
and our interpretation of
Wherefore thus saith the Lord, God of hosts,
Hello, how are you?
because ye speak this
Excuse me.
word. Behold, I will make my
Hello.
words in thy mouth fire,
Hello, how are
and
you?
his people wood, and it shall devour them.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Hello.
Lo, I will bring a nation upon you from far, O house of Israel, saith the Lord. It is a mighty nation. It is an ancient nation. A nation whose name thou knowest not, neither understood not what they say.
Like I said, the scripture in Proverbs, the 30th chapter, explains why the reason why we speak so broken, because fire is an element that's never satisfied. It's going to keep going until whatever is burning is consumed. This is why, this is why the Lord like him to burn the fire. So that's why.
Yeah, it's devoured. I think it's devoured. It's nothing to be, it's not something just put down, just as is. No, when it's devoured, I mean it's gone. Just like this place, America. This place is gonna be devoured. And why do you think also that time is coming? Well, that time is coming soon. Right? Very, very soon is that time gonna come. And that's also why. And brothers, even notice whenever someone comes up, all right, talking about some madness, all right, knowing it's not gonna edify, yo, again, you want to just kick rocks, man. Because guess what? We're not going to deal with your fucking kind anymore. Even the Ra'ash. The Ra'ash in our camp, we had to order on down. If they're not going to edify, and someone comes up speaking all types of buffoonery, keep it moving. Alright? We're not going to entertain all that BS. You know? Hello.
Hasta cuando ya esté.
A guy like that, clearly what? Nothing but strength. You know, get that proper it's simple. How long are you gonna love simplicity? That's talking about Israel. You know?
Proverbs 1 and 22. How long, you simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge.
Yeah. See, a guy like that, alright, whatever that thing was, they actually delight in the BS that they do, man. Alright? Why do you think folly what? Why do you think folly is set into a people? Alright? Why do you think folly meaning what? Just forcefully. You know? I think a muck for the purpose of people laughing at it. You know? And it's funny, I remember in school, you know, if you're acting like a little badass in the classroom, what did the teacher say? Whenever you do something stupid, what? The class is laughing with you, they're laughing at you. Alright? Can't believe, things like that always stuck up in my mind, man. In other minds too, because what? It pretty much applies today. Alright? These people literally have aged, they have gotten older, and they've never grown up. You know? And what? That's literally the majority of our people. I think we brought it out, but let's read it again. Hosea 4 and 6. Alright? Again, our people are destroyed. Alright? For lack of knowledge, man, for the lack of this water. You know? Our people are literally thirsty. Alright? Parched.
It's Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children.
What's crazy is that last part pretty much implies, but yeah, just abandonment. Alright? Abandonment with our power. There's a point in time where, Israel, for Israel is not. Alright, now my people. Alright, there's a point in time where the Lord pretty much made, Hosea. Alright, a prostitute, evil companion for hire. You know, what, for the purpose of what? It's a mirroring of what Israel has become. Right, a whore. Not even a whore that's cool, man. A whore that's unlikely. You know? No one wants to be with you. No nation wants to look at you and say, wow. Hell no. They look at us with great disgust. Alright? But what? That's why, like you've been preaching up here, Yahweh Shai. Alright? He's going to turn things, right side up. Alright? When the turning of things upside down, it's going to be turned right side up. That's true. Alright?
And we're the object of much contempt. Disrespected all the time. I'm still holding Jeremiah 28. Oh, okay.
Malachi 4:1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts. Then shall leave them neither root nor branch.
So, whenever you think of a place, even in times of past, Nineveh, Sodom and Gomorrah, the other remaining cities, these places, they didn't fit the criteria of a city that could be left for mercy. Alright? And what's heavy is that if you look at the election and the thing that was prophesied, what those men were going to do, would be of that number. Alright? They pretty much qualified to receive mercy. Alright, but what does it say here in Malachi? What, all the proud? All that do wickedly? Alright? Well, it's going to be over for them, man. Alright? The Lord literally promised swift destruction for those people. We can get that in ancient world. The sinful kingdom should be the last chapter. You know? Because this indeed is that sinful kingdom that's going to be wiped off the face of the earth, man. Alright? The time of all-time wickedness is done. Alright? The time of people literally profiting off of folly is done. What I was thinking about? I'm not sure if brothers know this. There's a rapper out there. I'm not sure if brothers know about this chick. Her name is Bad Baby. I'm not sure if brothers know about this. There was a time with this little, BITCH was in a talk show host with what's that guy's name?
Dr. Phil?
Dr. Phil. This girl was literally on Dr. Phil running amok. You know what I'm saying? First off, the girl was without her father, right? And she was training for the longest. And the reason why was because what? She was just acting like a little badass. Alright? But over time, she not only did she not get her acting up, she's literally rich. She's loaded. All because she used that specific fame to jumpstart her career. Now she's an all-time rapper. You see? So that's how you know the scriptures talk about what folly being said in great dignity. All right, it speaks truth, man. It speaks volume. That word dignity pretty much just means honorable. All right. So if you act like a total idiot, for lack of better words, I'm not gonna say it on camera. All right, but if you act like a total moron, a man without guidance, a man without parents, all right, that's looked on as very honorable in this world. All right, and you're applauded for it.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Amos 9:8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord, the Most High, are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I would not destroy the house of Jacob, save the Lord.
Yeah. So like that saying goes, not all hope is lost. All right, for a certain amount of people on this placement in this great plains of America. All right, the election, like I said before, they actually qualify to receive mercy, man. Yes, indeed, you have people out here that's not trying to be freaking beta males, man. All right, just like you have on Instagram. There with the brother, we did a video on that. How the men of the Lord are not sigma males. I'm not sure if you've ever seen those Instagram reels, but on social media, you come across a lot of stupid reels that's pretty much advocating for sigma, being a sigma male. Really talking about that. It pretty much just means a man who's just a lone wolf, a man that likes to do his own thing, yet succeed. Most importantly, which is the most wicked, a man that has no God and no master. Now, hold on. Right? Hold on there. First off, the sigma, that phrase sigma goes back to the Greek alphabet. Now, if I'm not mistaken, sigma, that's what, like the 18th letter of the alphabet. So you're not even the top dog. Yet a lot of Israel, and yes, of course it's Israel. Who else do we expect? It's Israel that literally wants to be sigma males and wants to live that lifestyle. All right, and it's crazy because like the brother mentioned in that video we made, you have guys like like the Tate Brothers podcast, like Freshman Fit. These guys, they may preach alpha, they stand in third, and how to actually escape the matrix. Which first off, you stole that phrase off of us, posers. All right, and second, these guys are what? They're pseudo alphas, meaning it's fake. All right, it's fake. It's a sad imitation of who the men of the Lord are. Because according to the Bible, starting with our Lord Yahweh Shai, the true people who just breathe masculinity is the men of the Heavenly Father. Because what? These guys aren't. First off, a lot of them are into Islam for whatever reason. Second, they're not even following what? Ecclesiastes, man. All right, the duty of all men. Are they completing the duty of all men? To fear the Lord and to keep His commandments? No, they're not. So what are you? You're just a dude. You're a little G.
Phony.
Yeah, not even a little
Just a
G.
phony.
Just a beta male. Because what? You're not anything but the alpha that was first. All right, and definitely not damn 6 steps, damn 6.
Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
Yeah, so what? Let us hear the conclusion of the matter. Meaning, in other words, what's the meaning of life? It's funny. I remember the world remembering that there's literally books out there, people, ancient philosophers, they used to literally ponder on that same subject. What is the conclusion of life? What is the reason why we're here? And there you go. You see, just proving more that the Bible really has all the answers. And literally in one verse, just summed it up. The reason why we're not rescued, the reason why even the duty of the heathen, all right, and the kingdom to come, serve Israel and their power, the God of the Israelites. Our power, Yahweh wa Yahweh Shai. And that's the duty of all men. Alright? That's literally the reason why we live to serve him. Alright? And again, what? These pseudo guys, they're not fit that criteria.
This is the word conclusion on edamononline.com. It means to deduction or inference reached by reasoning, result or decision or examination. And it goes down to the word elusio, which means to shut up. So when you say the conclusion of something, that means that everything that's outside the conclusion, is shut up. You know? So yeah, the scripture says, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter, fear the Most High, keep the commandment. Everything else is shut up.
Even but these guys, they also preach the property of others. Alright? These guys still preach dog eat dog. Even with that whole Sigma philosophy, they pretty much preach that lone wolf anarchy. But the thing is, even in the Bible, the Holy Bible doesn't preach lone wolf, and all that, all that jazz. In fact, the scriptures talk about what a brotherhood being established, or it being well embedded in that brotherhood, not being some cynical lone wolf. I'm gonna take on the world by myself, no God, no master. That's fucking stupid. I mean,
Japanese. I was just gonna say, well, the Japanese call that a Ronin, master
Ronin.
samurai. None of those.
I was gonna say, you can look at Yahweh Shai's life, just at itself, man. Yahweh Shai could have been by himself. He could have, but he chose, and it was always predestinated that he was gonna be with his disciples. He was gonna build them up. That's what our heritage is about. It's about building each other up. It's not about being alone. It's not about destroying each other. It's about our heritage, building up like brother.
Brotherhood.
I've been hearing this close estimate.
This is Amos chapter 9, verse 8. Behold, the eyes of the Most High Yahweh are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Most High Yahweh.
Yeah, so I will not utterly destroy the nation of Israel. Now keep in mind, that does not mean we're excluding, of course, who? 2/3 pursuant to the book of Zechariah. Alright? You gotta remember, the majority of our people, they still gotta pay. Alright? Even in the beginning of this camp, well, we discussed how our people, yes, they're being attacked subtly by the devil, believing in homosexuality, right? Equality, which even that's not according to the scriptures, man. Alright? The household of men. Alright, all these things, sure, our people were victims of, but guess what? They still gotta pay. Because at the end of the day, Jake may be catching hell, alright? They catch holy hell. Alright? Like it says in, what's that, David 9:12, right? Well, our people pretty much in Jerusalem has suffered not as many other nations as dwell here on the earth, man. Alright, so what? Nevertheless, those same Jakes that caught holy hell, if they were to come up here, they would still curse the Heavenly Father out and his prophets. Alright, so yeah, it's a sad fact. Our people, 2/3, there's only one remedy coming to them, and that's destruction. Alright?
Ecclesiastes 4 and 9. Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him up.
Yeah, so even in Israel, alright, and I'm not talking about the Lord Israel, I'm talking about Jake in general. They practice this to a certain extent, but even then it's still fake. Even as far as family. Alright, they're saying that family isn't who you're born with, it's who you die for. Alright, not to sound dramatic and cheesy, but that's the truth. Alright? Yahweh Shai. It was all the balance. He had a blood brother that was in the truth, an actual brother from that same genetic bloodline, to be more specific. And what? You also had the same elder who wasn't in the truth. Alright? And guess what? All in all, Yahweh Shai was what he did. I say he would have. He did. He died for every single one of those disciples, man. All 12 of them, including the whole cosmos, the whole world of Israel. Alright? And that's alpha. You want to talk about alpha? That's alpha. Name me a sigma out here, or a beta, or a zeta, or whatever the hell, all right, that these Greeks believe in. Would they do that? Hell no. All right? Hell, even like the brother mentioned, a Ronin, even a samurai, all right? A goddamn Ammonite probably has more honor than a lot of you Jakes out here, man. All right? It's just proving the point, you know what? And this thing of ours is the true brotherhood. All right? We can actually build, one man up. All right? Make sure he's actually edified. That's actually what it means. It means to build up. It's the same thing with Spanish. It literally means to build. All right?
And it's
Ecclesiastes 4:9.
no, I was just gonna say you gotta also consider all the power he had, and he still chose to do it. All right.
Ecclesiastes 4:9. Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. The woe to one that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him up.
So all right, pretty much that's really the essence of the Yahweh Shai. That's actually one of the greatest commandments, the two greatest commandments. To love thy brother as thyself. You know, the other saying, to treat another man how you would like to be treated. All right. And so what? And it's funny because even go back to what I was talking about before, the witnesses. We are literally the witness of Yahweh Shai if you can receive it. You know, if you can even believe it, that takes faith in itself. So you can boldly say that I've seen the Lord. You know, it's funny. Brothers can say that to one to another, and brothers will understand. They know exactly what I mean when I say I've seen Yahweh Shai. These other people, the ones that are stuck in their corner way, they're not gonna know what the hell you're talking about. You know. So clearly you're 2,000 years old. No, that's not the case. All right. Well, we've seen the Lord. All right.
Second 1:37. I tend to witness the race of the people to come, whose little one rejoice in gladness, and though they have not seen me with bodily eyes, yet in spirit they believe the thing that I say.
Again, that's what they believe the thing that I say. All right. And again, what they say. All right. I haven't seen the Lord. You know, it's hammering in on that point. I haven't seen him in this level. All right, but what? We definitely do see him through these same scriptures, through these same words that we read every day, man. Like I should be. All right, just like it said in Revelation, 19 and 10. All right, the worshiping of the Lord in essence, and all through the Heavenly Father, first and foremost, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua Ba'ashim Rakakudah, through the Holy Spirit. Then what? Then everything comes afterwards. We see the word, we understand it, everything. All right, so we indeed are what the witnesses of Yahweh Shai. Those ones came with edifying, we're going to close out. We give all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua Ba'ashim Rakakudah.
again, the honors to the husband elders, active Rostos, and the teaching well. And peace and blessings be unto you full of all kinds of brothers who like to shut this word of truth, faith, and sincerity. As well as you brothers tuning in, we say shalom.
Shalom.